You know, a lot more recently than not, something that has been on my mind is that with the conclusion of most of the bigger series in Weekly Shonen Jump, such as Naruto, Bleach, Haikyuu, and even Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, have we reached the absolute peak in terms of something new and original that can surpass another goated series in Jump? At least from the shonen genre stands right now as a whole, are there really any true successors within our time of anime and manga? Or will we be left behind with the older generation to continue to stand at the top? Well, personally, if you ask me, the simple answer would just be no. Because I mean, throughout time, there will always be room for improvement and growth within just anything, to be honest. Whether if it's just anime and or manga, the room for development is limitless. And I mean, I think that's where a lot of our series we have today in Weekly Shonen Jump kind of stand at. Most of the big hit series right now in Jump, other than One Piece and Hunter x Hunter, are relatively newer to the scene. And I mean, if you don't want to include My Hero Academia and Black Clover to that bunch, by all means go ahead, because to be fair, they are just somewhere in the middle at this point in 2020. But personally, I still consider them successors of the big three, therefore I consider both of them quote unquote a new generation anime and manga. But as for the absolute newer generation series like Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, and even two that potentially might become big hits, Mashle and Undead Unluck, is there really any real potential within these series to be able to surpass a series like Naruto and Bleach? So with that in mind, that's exactly why today we're going to be talking about what it really takes to become a successor of any big hit series like the big three, and just any big hit that has ever been in Shonen Jump, and what steps that these series are going to need to take to become one of the successors of Shonen Jump. After a while, when a series in Jump starts to gain recognition, whether if it's just becoming popular in Japan based on manga sales, or if it has a make or break anime episode that will determine the future of its popularity, there are just so many factors that can really play a huge part in which path you take to becoming one of the successors of Shonen Jump. And so far, we've seen it happen with plenty of series in the past. The most notable one, of course, would be with episode 19 so forth of Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. That episode, as well as the future of the series, was really the kickstarter for the series to become one of the best-selling manga series of all time. And even a series that at the time didn't have that much of an impact, but still had the same effect as Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, we have The Promised Neverland. With the conclusion of the first season, it drove a lot of people towards the manga, which definitely helped with its succession with regard to the end of the series back in June. But when we take a look further into the series, and just over the years, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba was really the one series to really put on the successor title to the older generation. And as of today, with series that barely have started producing episodes of the anime, as well as some manga that haven't even gotten anime confirmation just yet, are they really capable of competing with the older generation? Like I said earlier though, Jujutsu Kaisen is a prime example of this. Jujutsu Kaisen from an outsider standpoint takes its biggest inspirations from Hunter x Hunter as well as Bleach for some of its largest creative outlook. And to be completely honest, with how the manga as well as the anime is doing right now, I can perfectly see it becoming a successor of those big hit popular anime and manga. As for a manga that not necessarily I thought I was going to bring up, but I thought it would be quite important to do so, is Chainsaw Man. And I've talked about this series on multiple occasions, whether it be here on my channel or on a podcast I host with two other of my good friends, which you should probably check out if you want to hear more about my takes on Shonen Jump. But Chainsaw Man doesn't necessarily scream successor to me. If anything, it's honestly just a completely original concept and a great read. It's a series that I haven't really seen out there too much, and it can really be defined as a new template for future series to come in the magazine. But one thing that can really change the whole outlook on everything would be a Chainsaw Man anime. And something that I've seen a lot recently is talks of a Chainsaw Man anime. Now, I'm not going to go in too much detail about it, but what essentially might take place is that a Jump Festa, which is like a convention for all things Jump related, that rumor has it that a Chainsaw Man anime will be announced this year, and by my guess towards that, it will be probably coming out sometime next year. But all in all, that's just merely rumor, but it is definitely something I see happening, and who knows, for all we know, it could really be the next hit anime in Shonen Jump. With that in mind, let's take a look at what we currently have outside of speculation. I mean, My Hero Academia, a series that is fairly popular over here in the West as well as in Japan. I feel like My Hero only really needs a few more years until it reaches that status of its successor towards the big three. And I mean, Horikoshi's biggest inspirations were on the big three, the biggest one of course being Naruto, so it definitely as time flies by is living up to the name. And I mean, who knows, My Hero Academia could be a series that we see surpasses Naruto within the media as a whole. And just like any other successor within anime and manga, there is always an underdog. And personally, this is just me, but when it comes to the newest, most interesting series in Weekly Shonen Jump, I would easily have to give it up to Mashle. Mashle really is a series that only has been serialized as of this year, and there really isn't a format successor of another series in Jump I can think of, but Mashle as a whole in my eyes does have a clear spot of becoming a contender for one of the successors in Jump by making its own path from inspirations outside of Shonen Jump to making a name for itself within the magazine. And I gotta be frank with you guys, either within the next year or so, I can easily see this series getting an anime and having a huge impact towards the Western audience to bring a bunch of attention towards the manga, which could potentially lead it to becoming the best-selling magic series of all time within Shonen Jump. But at the same time, I wouldn't say the best magic series just yet, and as most of us know, Black Clover has already reached out to the fans all over the world from its biggest inspirations of all types of series, ranging from Dragon Ball, Berserk, Naruto, and even Yu Yu Hakusho. From Black Clover, it's a series that I'm personally not fully invested into yet. I've caught up to the majority of the manga as well as the anime, but what's not to say it doesn't have room to grow. And it's definitely a series by the looks of it won't be ending anytime soon, so as it stands for, Black Clover could be a show that definitely changes my whole outlook on the world of magic, anime, and manga in general. And while at the end of the day, these series might not all become what we hope to be of them, but they all do certainly have the potential to become something great one day, if not already. Because the way I look at it is that it really only takes like one good anime to get something kickstarted for that series to become a successor of what it's inspired by. So what's not to say your favorite shonen anime and manga can't be a successor of Shonen Jump. But that's all I have for you guys today. Let me know what you guys thought about the video in the comment section below. And if you want to leave a comment suggesting an idea for a video, be more than happy to do so. I love reading the comments, and maybe if you post an interesting topic, I'll choose yours and make a video on it. And guys, if you did enjoy today's video, then make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Also, forgot to mention, but there's a link to my Discord in the description box down below if any of you would like to join. With that, everyone, my Twitter is @AnimeAugie, and I'll make sure to catch each and every single one of you guys in the next video. Peace.